Hey everyone, today we are inshore on the little boat, not on the real Hazardous, and we are fishing with Rusty. Rusty is going to show us some cool techniques and tactics and areas to catch flounder in. So they saw some mullet, so Dad's trying to catch some bait from the shore. It's a good cast. Rusty brought some live bait, which was a big help. We tried to catch some along the kind of beach there that morning by the ramp, but had some trouble catching them. We took what we went and went to our first spot. Today we're going in a spot and it's got a lot of rocks, okay? Rocks are good, you know, they hold fish. This case, there's a lot of flounder and mangrove snapper in the area. But as we found, fishing on rocks can be pretty difficult. You see, rocks really want to snag your line. Not much I know to do about that, unfortunately. Just be prepared to be retying a lot. But it's a good area, and if you're patient, you can catch fish. Another, I guess a little tip I can tell you that might help is try to go down a size or two in sinkers. Our rigs today are like a slip sinker rig. Basically, we have our main line with a sliding egg sinker on it, and then we have a swivel, and then we have about 12 to 18 inches of leader, like a mono or fluoro leader, and then we have a live bait hook, or kale hook as they're called, and we were fishing with live bait. Now, typically we'll use like a 1 ounce egg sinker. It's kind of our go-to. But when you're fishing on these rocks, if you can go to a 1/2 ounce, it tends to work a little better. I think it doesn't sink as fast and doesn't get in the rock and get your hook snagged, so it works a little better. It's still going to happen, but not as much. The other thing we're doing is we're slowly working in this live bait. So we're kind of casting it towards the rocks or the edge of the rocks where they're coming to the sand, and we're just kind of slowly reeling that in, letting that live bait kind of work across the rocks. Hopefully that lightweight sinker is just going to kind of bounce up and over the rocks and find some fish. There you go.
Maybe 14 nowadays. That was that big mullet. 14.
Almost. Got him?
They call him or what?
Mangrove, yeah.
Bait on press, yeah. I know that mangrove bait. The ideal spot for this right here to be, you want to be about 30 feet off the rocks, kind of like right there. That way you can fish here and fish there. You can fish all that. I agree. That's a keeper there for sure. That was 14. Half gas, man.
Is that right up by the boat where you got that?
Yeah. What they'll do a lot of times is they'll follow the fish up to the boat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the bait up to the boat, and then when you pull it out, they'll just start stacking in there. So if you let it jig around, you'll get fish.
There you go, a little flounder. There you go, a little flounder. Yeah.
I don't want to catch big ones, but just as long as I'm getting bites and stuff, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
Did you measure?
He didn't have to measure. Didn't need to measure that one. Did you get the rocks?
Oh yeah, I've been sitting here for a minute.
We've all got the rocks a few times.
Not again.
I think I've got the rocks the most.
We can roll around there on the other spot. I'm trying to think where might be to catch some bait at this particular time. You want to, I'll just wait till you back up. I think if I back to the back side of that, I can pop it off.
Okay. So I think I got a few ideas to help when you know, you're fishing with rocks, some things that might make it a little bit easier, some tips. First off, if you do get hung up and you get your lure back, be sure to check the tip of the hook. You know, get your rig, whatever it is, your hooks, check them. Because sometimes you're pulling really tough and they're on a rock and they do come loose, but that tip could get a slight bend to it. And it may not be very noticeable, but you need to feel it. And if there is, you need to change out that hook because it's gonna be hard to catch fish if, you know, your hook's dull or bent. You know, it's not gonna get that hook set. Another thing I like to do is I like to basically tie my strongest knot at the swivel right below the sinker. And then my leader is a slightly weaker, and actually the knot on the hook is the weakest. That way if I do have to pull it and break, it's gonna break out the hook and I don't lose my sinker and my rig. I can just tie a new line to that leader. It's kind of the quickest and easiest way. It doesn't always work, but I would just do a few less wraps by the hook. Still strong enough to catch a fish, but if you have to pull down on it, you know, all you lose is the hook and you're back in the game fishing quicker. We looked for bait at one point, tried to go back in some of the creeks and find some more. Fortunately, we couldn't find the bait. So we went to some other spots, by some structure. You know, a lot of these man-made, you know, commercial docks, you know, areas like that where they put more rocks and have like the bulkheads and, you know, support structure in the water, all holds fish. So we're working those areas as well. What you got?
Guys, our day is made. We've been trying to get one of these all day long, and we finally caught them.
Finally landed one.
Look at that bad boy. You don't call that a mother-in-law fish for nothing.
I've never heard that before. I like that though.
Look at that guy. Look at that mouth on that bad boy. So, the day has been made. If we catch another fish, caught my toad. I just kind of feel that they'll make that kind of run down there, or you know, just a little bit of a bump, and then I'll let it sit for a second, and then I'll lift up, and if I kind of feel it move a little bit, then I'll set the hook.
So you got to give it a few seconds to eat it.
Yeah, they'll gnaw on it for a while. They like to hit that ledge that's going from that shallow to deep. They'll lay on that drop. Sorry about that.
I have a line crosser here.
Yeah, the thing about with flounder fishing, you can, because you're constantly working your line, you can cross people's line. See, like right there, there's rocks right there, but few minutes, so I'm gonna cut that crab up in the quarters. We're gonna see if we can't get us a redfish. Yeah, what that was on was a croaker.
Flounder on a croaker.
Oh yeah, I'll take them croaker. That'd be my favorite bait for flounder. Get a picture of them.
A little bit better than the first one, right?
Yeah, a little bit better than the last one. We'll start getting some big ones here. We start getting some better bait. I'm gonna use these little tiny bait that I brought. Really ain't doing.
Big fish catch big bait, right?
That's hey, definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when we saw bigger.
Yeah, he's a lot bigger. You got a net, do you?
Oh yeah, good fish.
Oh, man, I'm gonna get in here.
Yeah. Just gonna have. You ready?
Yeah, let me, there we go.
There you go. Good fish.
Which we guess a decent one, y'all.
Yeah, it's quite a difference. Just how much fatter he is and longer and everything.
He's heavy. That's a good one there.
Just right off the rocks there.
Yeah, right off the rocks. He hit it almost fast up, hit the bottom.
That was one. Bring him over here and I'll put him in the boat. Ready? There you go.
Oh my God.
Really got him in, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's a keeper too. That might be 10 inches now.
I get
14.
I'll check it out.
Double hookup.
Yeah.
Get your camera
Mangrove,
going.
yeah. All right, guys, we got our first double of the day. Mangrove.
Flounder right here.
And a flounder. Nice. Good job.
Good job, yeah.
At one point, my dad kept getting cut off, so he figured some Spanish were around. So he actually tied a gotcha plug and started casting that. So, you know, if you're, fishing for flounder, kind of working the bottom of the water column, sometimes you might want to change it up, throw that plug, a lure or something like that, work it in, and you can catch some Spanish mackerel or other fish working different parts of the water column. Hey guys, hope you guys enjoyed another episode of Real Hazardous. It's pretty fun today on the water. Kind of tough, bait was smaller than we liked, and it was hard finding it at one point. We had to kind of work with small stuff, but we were able to catch some flounder, even had a nice one, some mangrove snapper, and some Spanish on a gotcha plug my dad was just throwing while we were trying to catch flounder and mangroves. A lot of fishing around rocks made it difficult. We had a lot of break off. Sometimes you can't there's nothing you can do to avoid it, but if that's where the fish are, then just work through it and keep at them, and you'll catch them. Kind of working them over the rocks onto the sand and just trying to catch flounder that way. A lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you got any other suggestions or comments, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.